Let's observe the difference between a serve with good friction and one without. Okay, now I'll apply friction. See the difference. Now let's look at the hook serve. These first few attempts didn't grip the ball properly. Now, I'm generating friction. The size of the motion is identical, but notice the difference in speed. One is a no-spin, the other is spinny. The key is the moment you contact the ball. You must make your racket rotate very quickly on the ball's surface to generate spin. Even if you rotate your wrist, if the rotation speed is too slow, the ball will only have minimal spin. In my experience, the reason amateur players lack spin on their serves is that the racket speed at contact isn't fast or compact enough. To increase the spin, you must use your fingers to generate force. This will make the serve very spinny. Focus on using your fingers. The second reason serves lack spin is that your power isn't concentrated. A lack of concentration means the duration of your brushing contact is too long. For example, a long brushing motion is a no-spin or low spin. But if you shorten the friction distance, the ball becomes very spinny. Don't drag out the motion. Make the brushing action short and sharp. For instance, shrink your motion from this large to this small. The third key is the breaking action. This stopping motion comes from your hand. You must squeeze the racket handle upon contact. That final, abrupt stop is what makes the ball spin. The difference in spin between a serve with this breaking action and one without is enormous. So, when you serve, make that final squeeze of the racket very distinct. It needs to be a clear, deliberate action. The moment you touch the ball with a compact motion, squeeze the handle. This is crucial for concentrated friction. The same principle applies to long serves. I'm simply pushing the ball forward more. The forward momentum for a long serve comes from the forearm and arm. The brushing motion itself should always be compact, just like when you loop. Only with this compact finger-driven wrist snap can you generate the brushing motion. A big swing doesn't create spin, the rest is just arm power. I believe your serves lack spin because your friction is not concentrated, your fingers aren't used correctly, and your breaking action is not sharp enough. How do you make it concentrated? Think of your body, don't use a large rotation. Keep it smaller and tighter, and it will be more focused. A smaller motion leads to more concentration. And finally, make your breaking action very obvious. Next, I'll explain how to ensure high-quality serves in both practice and matches. The first key point is your distance from the ball. This is critical. Many amateur players stand too far from the table when they serve. You're either this far away, or that far away, and then you try to serve. The result is the ball either hits the top edge, goes into the bottom of the table, or flies off long. These errors are very common. This is why I always emphasize positioning the bounce on your side of the table, because it allows you to better control the first bounce point. If you can master the first bounce for short serves and long serves, you will not make service errors. The reason for high service error rates is an inconsistent first bounce. How can you stabilize it? Get your body close to the table. This will naturally give you better control over the first bounce. Try to lower your contact point to be level with the net. Watch closely, I'm contacting the ball down here. No matter how high you toss, the point of contact between the ball and racket should not be significantly higher than the table surface or the net. For instance, you might be contacting the ball up here, whereas I am contacting it down here. If you find this too difficult, then use a low toss. Avoid a high toss to reduce errors. Otherwise, you'll make too many mistakes in a match and lose control. Third, on reducing errors, let me share my experience. All serves, long or short, should not just be about hitting the ball forward. You must always apply friction first. For a short serve, just brush the ball. For a long serve, brush the ball first, then push it forward. This will reduce your errors. Why do so many amateur players make service errors? It's because you neglect the friction component of the serve. You're trying to push the ball too fast. At a critical point like 9-9, your first thought should be, brush, then push. This makes the serve reliable. Now, I want to talk about how to increase sidespin friction. Pay attention to this technique. I'll place the ball on the table and demonstrate the brushing action. Watch closely. Why is this sidespin so strong? If you practice this motion, you will understand. When I use this brushing technique, my sidespin serves become extremely spinny. So, how can I make my left side spin even spinnier? During my backswing and at ball contact, I force my black rubber to always face directly forward. Side underspin. Side topspin. At the moment of contact, ensure your racket face is always on the side of the ball, not behind it. Watch, the black rubber surface always faces forward. This way, you can properly execute the serve. Do many of you find it difficult to generate power on a right side spin serve? I also struggled with the right side spin at first, because we are too used to applying force downwards. You must apply force this way. If you can't find the feeling for right side spin, practice brushing from this point to this point. Exaggerate the motion. Do you understand, players? This will help you find the feeling of brushing and gripping the ball for a right side spin serve. At contact, your forearm, fingers, and wrist must also move forward. This will help you gradually master the feeling of friction. So, what is the key to this brushing action? Look, this is basically backspin. For backspin, brush downwards. For topspin, flick your wrist and brush upwards. For a long ball, add more forearm when you brush. This is the essence of a hook serve. Within this, the key to brushing sideways is the forearm. If your forearm is straight or moves backward, you can't generate friction. If the forearm isn't folded, you can't create friction. Therefore, pull the forearm back, then brush forward. This is the first step. Next, learn to slightly fold your forearm first. After folding it, release it explosively, like a rubber band. You load it, then snap it open. This is a long hook serve. This is a short hook serve. The second step is to feel the entire arm brushing sideways at contact, as if the ball is rolling across your racket like this. The chop-style hook serve uses the same principle. This is a chop-style serve. It also requires a sideways brushing motion. This is the essence of right side spin. No matter how you brush forward, the ball will never be spinny. Only by brushing sideways and carrying the ball sideways can you generate spin. An exaggerated motion would look like this. You must have sufficient sideways brushing force to produce a proper right side spin serve. This includes reverse pendulum serves. They also rely on a sideways brushing motion to generate heavy spin. Once you've mastered the sideways motion, brushing side down becomes underspin, and brushing side up becomes topspin. It's really that simple. Let's analyze my racket face on the hook serve. Watch carefully. Why do many players struggle with the hook serve? It's because they can't maintain the correct racket angle. So, take a stick or a towel, align it with your contact point, aiming at the edge of the net to establish the angle. After you serve, freeze your follow-through. Is your racket angle the same as the stick? Or is it open like this? Or is it closed like this? You will immediately understand why your serve isn't working. Every bad hook serve is simply because you didn't maintain the hook. If you want to master the hook serve, the first key is to maintain this hooked racket face. This establishes the right side spin, which is your first step. Are there players who just can't generate friction? Let me give you a simple analogy. Listen to the sound my feet make on the floor. This is friction, right? Now listen. Your current brushing motion is slow like this. It needs to be fast, like this. It's a simple principle. Why can't you create friction? Because you're too slow. A slow, gentle motion will never generate spin. You need to brush quickly. I exaggerate the motion to demonstrate that the action needs to be concentrated. Stop trying to just get the ball on the table. When you focus on just making it in, you become timid and overly cautious. The key right now is to practice making this motion compact and explosive. Be more explosive. Use some force. Chop it hard. That's the only way to make the ball spinny. You need to chop it hard now. Unleash that power at contact. The only reason a serve is not spinny is that the racket's rotation speed on the ball is too slow. A spinny serve is like this, yours is like this. Of course, it's not going to spin. Let me give you 4 reasons why your motion is too uniform. First, you're afraid of making mistakes. Second, you don't know how to use your fingers to apply force. When I serve my hook serve, my thumb and index finger are squeezing the handle so hard it feels like I could break it. I'm not just gently holding it. So when serving, your fingers must learn to actively generate force. They need to do the work. Once your fingers are active, your spin will increase significantly. Third is the relationship between relaxation and acceleration. As I always say, you need a good serve. You must learn to relax, then accelerate. Relax, then explode into the ball. When you have this change of pace from relaxed to fast, the concentration of your friction is amplified. What's the 4th point? Many amateur players use too much of their arm to generate force. Use less arm power and more power from your fingers and wrist at the moment of friction. Think about it, during your backswing, when you're about to contact the ball, you should be performing a brushing motion. If you're still pushing forward at contact, that's just a push, not a spin serve. So, at the exact moment of contact, we must be executing a brushing motion. After the friction is applied, then I can add follow-through for speed. Watch, as I toss and start my backswing, my hand is completely loose and relaxed. At contact, I generate friction. For a short serve, just brush. For a long serve, brush and then push forward. If you really can't generate friction, try serving without a backswing. Just serve from a still position like me. Try it. It might be spinnier than your serve with a backswing. Your backswing often engages the arm too much, which interferes with the real work of creating spin. Why is a serve without a backswing often spinnier for you? Because without a backswing, the motion is more compact and concentrated. There are no other large body parts interfering with the action. Join our membership to unlock daily exclusive shorts and discover the coach's secret tips and tricks on table tennis technique. You'll also get our weekly on-court coaching series. Silver members get even more and also unlock the exclusive weekly Coach's Corner series. Thank you for supporting the channel's growth.